Holosky podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Steven.
And Kyle.
And it's Monday Holocult. So you know what that means. We're back hanging out with you. Just, kickstarting your work week. Don't know what I got going on with my hair here. It's fine. Everything's fine.
It's doing what it wants, man.
Yeah, it's fine. This week we're hopping right back into our episode on crop circles. If you didn't tune in to last week's episode, part 1, you're going to want to do that. So bounce back over there, listen to that. It gets juicy toward the end. That's where we're going to jump back in today. So be sure and do that. If you're new here, thanks for checking us out. Welcome. Me and Kyle like to chit-chat a little bit at the beginning of the show, do some house cleaning and stuff. So about 6 minutes is where the show usually starts, somewhere around in there. I'm sure someone in the comments of YouTube will tell you. But yeah, if you're not new here and you know what's going on, welcome back, you weirdo. We're glad to have you. That being said, check us out on all our social medias, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Discord, Reddit. Search up the Holosky podcast. We'll be there. Come and join the community. Join the cult. It's a cool cult, not a creepy cult. It gets a little creepy, but not that creepy. And it's a good time. It's a good community. If you have a paranormal experience you'd like for us to feature on a future show or a listener experience episode, Kyle's got some details for you.
I do. It's easy. It's in the show notes. But it's also holoskypodcast@gmail.com. Furthermore, it's also on the front page of the website. Pick your poison. Write your story out in as much detail as you possibly can. That way we can really assess the situation because we are professionals, obviously. I mean, look at us. Listen to us. We know what we're talking about once in a while. But you do that, you're going to get famous, fortune, all of it. And we'll be nothing but happy for you.
It's a good time.
It is a good time.
It's a win-win for everyone involved. If you'd like to support this little venture we're doing, plenty of ways you can do it. We got a Patreon for $7 a month. Go over there, get extra episodes, get these episodes early before anybody else. Get them ad-free, which I know is a good selling point for everyone because they don't like being interrupted when they're listening. We get it. A necessary evil, but not evil. Sorry, sponsors. Still love us, please. Anyway, we got Casket Breath Jams over there. You get info for the merch, drop early. Sometimes you get coupons and stuff. Speaking of merch, holoskypodcast.com. We got a merch tab over there. You can get some t-shirts, some hats, some beanies, some stickers, all kinds of good stuff. The best thing you can do is share the show word of mouth. Just constantly keep pushing Holosky out there. Anywhere where people talk about weird stuff, paranormal, the esoteric, the Fortean, just keep our names in those communities and help the Holocult grow.
Keep us the underground kings.
Yeah, bastard sons of the paranormal.
Let's cement the cult in that genre.
That's your homework for the next decade. Also, you can go to wherever you listen to this very podcast you're listening to and leave us a 5-star rating and review. And if I find it, I will gladly shout you out. Still running through apples here. Where are we at? This week, 5-star rating and review comes to us from our friend Sanctimus. Again, I can only read the first 3 words of the title of the review because Apple is stupid. But Sanctimus says, absolutely love these guys. ... Probably because they're smart and handsome.
Yes.
5 stars. Love the podcast, guys. I called in about dreams once, and it was awesome. This is a fantastic podcast for those who want to express their experiences or even just get out some energy that you're feeling or have felt. 10 out of 10. Would recommend this podcast to anyone in the paranormal, cosmic, dimensional, or anything else to listen to and share your experience. Keep up the awesome work, you guys. Best regards, Deep Dreamer. Well, the Deep Dreamer Sanctimonious. Sanctimus. My bad. Can't read. We appreciate the kind words and you taking the time to leave us that lovely 5-star rating and review. I always love the ones where you can tell we're doing a positive,
Yeah.
Where people really tune in and enjoy what we do because that's what it's all about.
It's what we've created, man.
That's the cult in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Sanctimus. Sorry for mispronouncing your name, but yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate the kind words. The last thing you could do to help us out is support our sponsors, which you will be hearing from now. All right, we are back and in it. Coming in for round 2 of Crop Circles. If you haven't listened to the first episode from last week, part 1, you're going to want to go back and check that out. Give a little history on crop circles. Me and Kyle kind of talk about our history with crop circles. We get into some juicy CIA stuff toward the end where I stopped, and we're going to kind of roll right back into that. The juicy CIA stuff is that crop circle investigator Colin Andrews, who is the spearhead of all seriology, which is the investigation and study of crop circles, was basically used as a disinformation pawn by the British government in a thing known as Operation Blackbird. He was made to look like a fool on live television regarding crop circles, which sucks.
It does suck.
Because it not only discredited him, but it discredited the entire phenomena. Made it just look like it was all just a bunch of hogwash.
Chalk one up for the home team.
Yeah. But that didn't stop Colin.
For him.
He just doubled down. He's like, you guys want to make me look like a fool? You're going to have to do way more than that. Which Colin, being a pretty respected scientific investigator and journalist, just because the government said he was a liar, not a liar, but the phenomena was fraudulent, Colin still had a bunch of people in his camp, right? Thousands and thousands of people in his camp, which I don't think the British government really banked on. They thought if we sacrifice this guy on live television, a lot of people are going to just think that this whole thing is a joke, which a lot of people did, but not everybody.
Yeah, it's definitely a successful operation there.
Yeah.
And it's a multi-sided one too, because not only does it discredit crop circles, but it also by proxy discredits everything. You know what I mean? Not for everybody, but for the people on the fence, I feel like a discredit of any part of the phenomena discredits all phenomena.
Yeah. And it really makes you not know who or what to trust.
Yeah.
Which shouldn't be anybody in this realm. You'll come to notice once we start talking about the CIA. But especially, like Kyle says, .gov,
No,
Don't.
ever.
don't. So, yeah, the British government decides to go full disinformation once Colin just refuses to shut up and he starts getting followers behind him. They bring in the CIA. So Colin does what any good fringe theorist would do, and he starts going ham about all the bullshit that's going on. He went on record in an interview with a man named John King, stating that he knew that the only way that someone could have gotten into the field during Project Blackbird, which was under complete military surveillance, mind you, night vision, infrared, nothing could have got into that field without being seen, was that if it was an inside job, they had to let people into that field to make that formation. He stated that he made the announcement about the crop circle before he'd even seen it, going by what Army surveillance was telling him.
That's the other aspect of the story, too, that kind of gets overlooked a little bit, is that in the beginning, the Army reported to him that they witnessed lights in the sky.
Yes.
And a craft. So he, like,
Stoked.
if there was, in my opinion, a hiccup on the .gov side, it was that.
Yeah.
It was that, because logically the better way to bait it would have been, hey, we got here and something happened in the field.
Yeah.
You know, because it still piques his interest enough. And they could have even said, hey, we're going to review the footage to see what happened, what took place that night. But we did get something. And we're like, not trying to like jump overboard here, but we did get something. And I feel like that would have been a better bait, because in the end, it would have done the same thing. But they went, I also understand why they went full in to get him hyper excited.
Oh, yeah.
And get him on there selling it as if it was 100% fact.
Yep. Because in his mind, up to this point, the British military, Ministry of Defense was on his side.
Right.
They're backing him. They're giving him all this equipment. They're giving him all these personnel. Like, if they say, hey, we have a craft and we have a circle or we have a formation, he's immediately like, fuck yeah, let's get it out there. He also said, like, there was almost pressure on him to make the announcement. We need to get this out immediately. We need to get it out immediately. So he did that. Did that exactly what they said. And then when, again, like I said, he did in the last episode, when he saw it, he immediately knew it was a hoax. But also, kind of to defend Colin's position, the deal that was made with the military was that they would provide the land, they would provide the equipment, they would provide the bodies, but Colin had to cooperate with them. So they pretty much had him dead to rights in the whole scenario, even though he didn't know.
You know what else could have been at play there? In that cooperation operation there? They could have been a twofold system of obviously the bait and switch, obviously the disinformation campaign, but it could have also been Colin had more information on the subject matter than the military.
Oh, I guarantee it.
And they absorbed all of his information at the same time, discrediting him.
Yeah.
Giving them a leg up now in the field.
Yep. Which sucks.
The confiscation of all of his material, essentially without confiscating it, because he agreed to cooperate. Especially when you worded it that way, like he had to agree to cooperate. That sounds like a roundabout way of saying, "Hey, give us all your shit."
Yeah, it was very well planned out. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I'll head nod at that. That's
yeah.
They're slick. They pulled a fast one on him. They got him.
They keep trying too. So, in this interview, Collins said that Blackbird was phase 1 of what essentially he thinks was a 3-phase operation to discredit the phenomena and discredit him and his fellow colleagues, Pat and everybody else that was working on it. Phase 2 are a couple fellas that I had named earlier, Doug and Dave.
Dumb and Dumber.
The men who conned the world. So on September 9th, 1991, 2 retired landscape painters, keep this in mind, these are the guys that are conning the world.
They're obviously masterminds.
Obviously. Dave Chorley, 62, and Douglas Bauer, 67, went on national British tabloid television to reveal that for the last 13 years, they had been sneaking around southern England at night, fashioning as many as 25 to 30 new crop circles each growing season.
I'm going to call bullshit right off the rip with the fact that these 2 are 62 plus years old. Bitch, if you don't have nothing better to do, I swear, get out of here. There ain't no way your asses are crawling around in the middle of the damn night.
You're going to love where this goes next.
Good. Let's fucking get it.
Keep that in mind. 62 and 67.
I'm going to talk mad shit.
Crawling around. Keep crawling around in the forefront of your brain, because it is absolute opposite of crawling around, which it makes it even worse. Makes it even worse. Okay. So they're out there saying they're putting down 20 to 30 new crop circles each season. Their efforts, after they came out, apparently inspired copycats. So after they came onto the scene, the crop circles began to pick up, which obviously some of them are going to be man-made.
Yeah.
Clearly. They go on to talk about varieties of techniques that they use to shape hundreds of crop circles in both Britain and abroad.
Were these the ones that started the fad of the board and the rope?
Yep,
Okay.
these are them.
I remember seeing them on TV then.
Yep, this is them. This is phase 2 of
because this is 100% what I remember. I remember the board and the rope.
Yep. It's 100% who you think they are. Most notably was the Seven Oaks Circle, which was presented to Colin's friend Pat Delgado as legitimate. This tabloid got Pat and said, look what we just found in this field. Can you examine it for us? Total setup again, right? So Pat's super stoked. Hey, we got a new circle. He deems it as legitimate, states, this is without a doubt the most wonderful moment of my research. Marveled retired engineer Pat Delgado, also an electrical engineer.
You just fell into the mouth of the trap.
Yep. As he stood in a wheat field near Seven Oaks in the British county of Kent, he goes on record to say no human could have done this. Delgado was gazing at a large area where the crops had been mysteriously flattened in a remarkable pattern, a large and nearly perfect circle of plants that had been bent down in a clockwise direction. Extending from the circle were other shapes, antenna, a ladder-like strip, and a semicircle. The Seven Oaks phenomena is the largest of hundreds of circular patterns that have appeared in the grains field of southern England, and in lesser numbers, the fields of 20 other countries during the past 13 years. It seemed perfect fodder for Delgado, who now makes a career of investigating and writing circles. Remind you that this was written before, this happened before Blackbird, so Pat hasn't retired yet. He's still in it.
But it's still the question is actually, was it real? And they just said that it was fake.
I'm not sure,
because
but I'm thinking not.
You're thinking not?
No.
That sucks, but it became maybe they had help in creating that, though. They didn't do it by themselves.
It was 100% another setup. 100%.
Yeah, because, I mean, in my head, I'm thinking if it is that magnificent, maybe it was real, but they're just going to dupe him and say that it wasn't real.
I think he was stoked that it's a fresh circle or a fresh formation that nobody was privy to yet, and that he also had the attention of the tabloid there.
Yeah.
I think that got to his head, and he was like...
It's understandable.
Yeah,
it really is.
You're going to be excited. It's what you love. It's what you love to do.
Yeah, and you might have overlooked signs, of it actually discrediting the circle. But
it would be like a Bigfoot researcher being out in the middle of the forest in Washington, and then some asshole walks by 200 yards away in a Bigfoot costume. That dude's going to be stoked regardless. That dude's going to be like, I have my confirmation. That's my holy grail.
Yeah, because essentially that person in the outfit has no business being that far out in the woods.
Exactly.
It just so happens that they are.
Yep.
Being an asshole.
Yep. And it could, in this scenario, it would be someone taking that Bigfoot researcher there. Hey, we've seen something in this area before. Come out here and check it out. So on and so forth.
And it sucks. It sucks because then I actually had this conversation not very long ago, different topics, but it sucks that we don't give people grace anymore. When somebody does fall in the mouth of that trap, it's instant
discredit.
It's instantly. You're condemned. You're done. You're no longer credible. End of story. You're not allowed to make mistakes whenever you have a quote unquote life's work, and that's unfortunate that nobody's given grace.
Yep.
Because in the end, you're going to have the hardcores be like, well, you should have seen the fucking signs and you should have known and blah, 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 blah. Like they're the professionals. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. Get on down the road. Give people grace. It happens.
And the fact that there's people out there that do this shit for the clout and for the flame, or the fame,
the fucking government.
Yeah. Is shitty.
Yeah.
Taking somebody that's passionate about something and weaponizing it against them is shitty.
That's grounds for
An ass beating.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's grounds for bringing back catching these hands.
Yep. All right, where am I at here? Yeah, so Delgado's super stoked about this crop circle. I'm sure he's over the moon. Like, hey, you know, me and Colin, we're spearheading this. We're the first ones on with the tabloid. But the scummy tabloid reporter says, actually, bud, this was made by Doug and Dave, and I watched them do it. So
right there, bare minimum, should have been a stick.
Yep.
100% should have been a stick because that's a pompous thing to do. I think that, I don't know, that pisses me off.
Yep.
That pisses me off a lot. That
said it right there.
Yeah, they're not like, they purposely drug you there to make you look like an ass.
Yep. Just baited you and you took it.
Man, it would have took a lot for me not to stick them.
Yep. They said in the interview that you could just like see the life like drain out of him.
I would have absolutely come unglued.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I would have, oh man, you all would have seen a different fucking person that day.
Yeah.
It would have been fucking bad.
The crop circle would have been the last thing anybody was interested in.
Yeah.
So they said Delgado was crestfallen, and the last line of his interview was, "We have all been conned. If everything you say is true, I will look like the fool." And that's how he entered.
That's depressing.
Yeah. Which, think about coming back from that, being set up hook, line, and sinker by a British tabloid and these two old fogies that don't have anything better to do but vandalize people's crops. And you've put your entire life.
It should have been a fucking lawsuit right there.
Yeah. Your entire life is based on like legitimate research about the phenomena. And these three men are just laughing at you. Yeah. And to come back from that and still pull yourself together and be like, what I do is important. What I do, I need to continue. Yeah, I had a hiccup. Yeah, they got one over on me. Let's go. But then to have the goddamn government and the British military do the same shit. No wonder he threw in the towel.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Doug and Dave got one over on Pat and Colin. Mostly Pat, and Pat was the one trying to defend the government when Colin was like, this is a fucking hoax. And he's like, well, we have all this surveillance. And Colin's like, no, this is a fucking joke. They're making us a joke.
It sounds like Pat is just a good person.
Yeah, he's trying to see the best of the scenario.
Yeah.
And they just keep pulling the rug out from under.
Yeah, and then I feel like at that moment is when everything set in, and he's like, I'm done. Because, you're right. This is all just a game. They're decimating us. I'm done. I'm walking away.
Yeah,
this is dumb.
They go on to talk a little bit about Doug and Dave's technique here, which Kyle had mentioned before. They required no meteorological effects and only rudimentary physics. After making a scale drawing of the intended pattern, Doug and Dave proceeded to the wheat field with their equipment: a 4-foot-long wooden plank, a ball of string, and a baseball cap with wire thread through the visor used as a sighting device. At the center of the intended site, Bauer held one end of the string. The other end was attached to the plank, held horizontally at knee level by Chorley as he circled around Bauer, pushing the grain gently forward. The heavy heads of the wheat tend to keep it down, he explained. Doug and Dave say they conceived their hoax in 1978 while sitting at a pub near Cheesefoot Head. What an awesome place. Cheesefoot Head.
Well, it's got awesome people there. So
yeah. Quote, wondering what we could do for a bit of a laugh. What a dick.
I still like, there's not one part of me that believes that.
What
I still
asshole.
I still contemplate. No, there's no way they did all of them. There's no possible way.
No.
There's no way. They might have done a couple once the theory was, or the theory was conspired, but there's no way they did them all. I just don't. I'm sorry. I don't see a 62-year-old man being like, you know what we should do? Now, I could see two drunk guys in a bar talking shit, but the fact that they actually go out and do it is a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
I just don't see grown-ass men wasting that amount of time and energy on something dumb like that.
People are dumb, though.
People are dumb, and they are from Cheesehead, whatever the fuck it is.
And they like, I'm sure they like the attention after the first of them started popping off.
Yeah, well, karate chops would have been given out.
Karate chops would have been given out.
Yes.
Doug and Dave say they conceived their hoax in 1978 while sitting at a pub near Cheesefoot Head, quote, wondering what we could do for a laugh. That's an ass. You're an ass.
Yeah.
I'm going on record saying they might not be alive anymore, but they're an ass.
Oh, yeah. I'll second that. Taint that fucking legacy there.
Inspired by reports of flying saucer sightings and recalling crop circles created with tractors by Australian farmers several years earlier, they decided to flatten some corn to make it appear that a UFO had landed.
How the fuck do you make a nonchalant crop circle with a damn tractor?
How do you get a crop? Yeah, their tractors leave tracks. Just saying.
Generally speaking.
Just saying. So they started doing that. And unfortunately, no one gave a shit for the first 3 years. They would go out and flatten some crops and no one said anything until one of the circles was spotted in 1981 and reported to the press.
Absolutely not.
And
Zero chance of that.
They immediately attributed it to extraterrestrials.
Zero fucking chance of that. There's no fucking way you're going to convince me that you and me went out into random fields, made elaborate designs for 3 fucking years.
Yeah, 30 a season. You'd be 100 deep by that point.
There's no way maybe one time. I just
attributed that they sucked so bad that the farmers are like,
there's no possible way on this planet you'll ever justify to me that these old ass dudes for 3 years with no recognition, zero.
Just kept at it.
It just kept at it.
Like it
was their $1 million idea. Get the fuck out of here.
We're going to go get shitty and we're going to walk on some corn.
I would have looked at those two and said, you are dumb. You are fucking dumb. Not to mention, ironically enough, there's not lawsuits out the wazoo for these motherfuckers. There should have been charges pressed. But of course, because they were working with the government, that obviously never transpired.
No. Once that one was spotted and they attributed it to extraterrestrials, they really got a kick out of it. Quote, "We laughed so much at that time," recalls Chorley. "We had to stop the car because Doug was in stitches so much that he couldn't drive."
Yeah, you're about to be in stitches, motherfucker.
I wish Stitches would drive to the UK.
Old Stitches, too.
Yeah.
Breaking your face stitches.
Yes. It was only after circle enthusiasts began seeking government funding that the two jovial men decided to admit that it was a hoax.
Jovial.
However, it's not all it's cracked up to be, because Doug and Dave admitted that they only decided to come forward after they had been offered thousands of dollars to come forward for their story. It's such a fun pastime that you don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Until they offer you money.
Right. Yeah, this story makes me really angry.
And we know that they were paid to come forward because they only got paid half up front. They literally had to sue the tabloid and whoever else was backing the funding to pay them for the second half of their money.
Ruh-roh.
Somebody came forward and said, "Hey, old drunkards, if you tell the world that you made these crop circles here and you have been for years, we'll pay you a lot of money."
Now that I believe.
And then they only got half of the money.
It's actually a pretty clever move, too, because guys like that, you find two drunks, I feel like you're not going to have to offer them very much money for them to go, okay,
no,
I can do this.
Oh, you could have offered them a 30 rack and they'd be like, all right.
Yeah.
That was not an English accent. That was an Australian accent. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
There was some issues with Doug and Dave's stories, though.
I also love the fact that they sued.
They were trying to get their money.
I mean, come on.
Give me my money. I love it. I love it. So remember, this is part 2 of the 3-phase discredit system, which, I mean, if you're the government and you want to sow some discredency, that's a word I just created.
It's a good one.
You find the two that are just gonna go all out. All out.
And I mean, the pub is probably a good place to find that.
Yeah. So there's some holes in their stories. Probably their livers also.
Hopefully their brains.
Yeah. They decided to demonstrate their crop circle making techniques on live television, right? Show it off. This is how we do it.
I hope it was absolutely not right at all.
The results aren't great.
That's awesome.
So
there's one face palm that the government has.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one, because the government watched that and goes, fuck.
Yep.
Fuck.
So even at this point in the crop circle phenomenon, a lot of the crop circles that are showing up are way, way better and more precise and complicated than any of the crude shit Doug and Dave were putting together.
See, that's what I remember. I remember elaborate crop circles and them being like, yeah, we did it with this board. And me being like, there's no fucking way you got this that perfect. No way.
Every time that they were asked to demonstrate something, the results were out of alignment. Every single time.
That's because they didn't have their wire on their cap and beer in their bellies.
The more intricate the design, the worse the results were.
Of course, because it's not real.
One example, a news crew wanted Doug to recreate one of his own claimed hoaxes using his own diagram.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Did it come out the same? He wanted to recreate it as close as possible. No, it didn't. It was a little bit bigger. It was twice as big as the way that he not only said he hoaxed it, but the diagram that he made for the hoax.
I also hope that during this elaborate scheme and the news reporting part, when they were wanting him to recreate it, I hope that they were just picking random people's fields.
Probably.
Without permission.
It was probably on the goddamn Ministry of Defense fields.
Probably.
The one that they wanted him to recreate exactly, his own design, his own blueprints that he'd made before, it got so out of hand for him. Like, he made the first circle twice as big. He just said, fuck it. He's like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore.
That's awesome.
I'm out of my element.
That's awesome.
They also couldn't get their story straight.
The story just starts to crumble.
They both said that one of them said they started making crop circles in 76. The other one said they started making crop circles in 75. Then they both agreed that they started making crop circles in 78.
Oh, okay.
Then they disagreed with one another and could not decide when they started making them.
I mean, they were drunks.
I don't actually know if they were drunks. I'm just insinuating that because they hung out at the pub. People like...
I feel like you're drunk if you go to the pub all the time.
I feel like you're drunk if you make crop circles for fun.
Also true.
Just throwing that out there.
Like I said, I see one image that's going to get put out there, and that's it. Especially by a couple old drunks.
Yeah. Their story also changed from them being a two-man team of making crop circles alone to them being on a team of multiple people that made crop circles who they refused to give any information about and have never came forward that they made crop circles with Doug and Dave.
Yeah, well, I mean, they are the ringleaders and masterminds. So
The ringleaders is a good... That's what they should have called themselves.
True.
They claim responsibility for infamous circles, claiming to have diagrams of the formations that they made that Doug drew after making them to keep records. Interestingly enough, the diagrams that he claimed were from the infamous circles don't match the infamous circles. So what he said he did in a field don't match the pictures of what was left in the field.
And logically, by the description you've given, wouldn't it be the opposite way? Wouldn't you do the diagram first and then do the image in the field? You wouldn't just freeball the image and then make a diagram?
I don't know what the fuck they were doing. I don't know. I don't think they have any idea about what a crop circle is.
I think that's been established at this point.
I've been waiting for this since, what we were talking about earlier. About the 60-year-old men doing what in the field, Kyle?
Crawling.
Au contraire, bud. When asked how they made some of the circles without leaving tracks in the crops, Doug said they pole vaulted into the fields.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Quote, "You should have seen us running through the fields with our sticks, sailing over the crops.
I would have said, please do that.
With our boards and our string."
You have to show us. You have to show us. There's no other way. You have to do this.
Yeah.
I want to see a 65-year-old man pole vaulting through the field.
With a 4-foot 2x4 strapped to his back.
Yeah, 100%.
How big of a pole does it have to be to not leave any tracks in the middle of a field?
That's a good question.
What? A football field?
Yeah, they got it.
And and surprisingly enough, I know it's going to be shocking to everyone, but their stories continued to change as crop circles continued to advance. So,
Nice.
for example, one researcher was telling Doug that they were looking for a very specific jelly-like substance that had started to be found in crop circles around the UK. Doug told them, probably just waste from an airplane, the old Joe Dirt plane. And then he continued to tell a story that he'd never told before about how he was making a crop circle and got hit in the head by a frozen piece of shit ejected from the plane. He talked about how he stumbled back to his car bleeding after getting hit with his poop missile.
Awesome.
Interestingly enough, planes don't dump waste over that specific area because it's illegal.
Not to mention, think about the astronomical odds
Getting hit with a shit missile?
in the middle of like
Making a crop circle.
crop circle. Yeah, like what the fuck?
If you get hit with a frozen turd while making a crop circle, is it a crap circle?
Yeah.
I don't like these two guys.
I don't see how anyone fucking believed them.
Next, it gets better. Next, investigators started coming forward about finding tiny bits of metal inside, like perfect metal magnetized balls inside of these crop circles. They think maybe pieces of meteorite or something found in new formations. All of a sudden, guess where people were finding metal shavings, little iron balls scattered about?
At the pub?
In Doug and Dave's circles, where there weren't any before.
Oh.
Now they're there. YouTube silly gooses.
Yeah, they're
silly
evolving.
geese.
They're evolving.
So, yeah, that's phase 2. Hire 2 bumpkins to
I can definitely tell you the government is definitely not winning this round.
No. Did Doug and Dave make some crop circles? Absolutely.
Sure.
Undisputed. But are they responsible for the entirety of the phenomena?
Absolutely
I'm going to say probably not.
Oh, I could say without a doubt, no fucking way.
You haven't seen them pole vault, though.
I haven't. And if I see that, maybe that changes my mind. But with the information that I have, absolutely fucking not. No way, no possible way.
Colin, in his interview with John King, make sure that nobody gets confused. He says, in no way does he think that Doug and Dave are members of the CIA, but they are tools for the CIA.
100%.
Or the intelligence community.
The
used
way
to
they
discredit.
operate, you can tell they are drunks.
They are liars.
Yeah. And not good ones.
Dude, can you imagine being in the military or the Ministry of Defense for Britain and hear him on an interview like, oh yeah, we didn't leave tracks because we pole vaulted.
Yep. You're drunk.
That I would retire.
Yeah.
I would quit my government military job and just walk away.
I can tell you without a doubt that dude was 100% drunk when he gave that answer. Yeah.
I just imagine being the person ahead of the PSYOP. All you had to do was convince 2 convincing people to come forward about crop circles. And these are the 2 that you grabbed.
Yep. You fucked up.
You grabbed
Somebody's losing their job.
pole vaulting shit missiles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dunzo.
Oops. We move on to phase 3 of the disinformation discredit campaign. And this is a man by the name of James Schnabel, which I talked about earlier in the last episode Can't remember what I said about it, but he was in there, and I told you to make note of that name. Colin reported that a freelance journalist showed up on the scene. This man was named James Schnabel. Colin believes that Schnabel was in fact a CIA operative. He doesn't show up on any official CIA databases as any officer or any agent or any paid official. But he does show up all over the fucking place in the CIA database when you search him up.
Of course.
He's everywhere connected with paranormal cases. Remote viewing, crop circles. This dude has his fingers in it. Which is wild for just being a freelance journalist. Right? Schnabel showed up on the scene of Blackbird and began independently interviewing everyone involved, with not only Blackbird, but other crop circles that are showing up on the scene. He just immediately starts causing turmoil, just causing discontent. He is spreading false information about the phenomena. He's misquoting people from different sides of the phenomena, just creating chaos, just keeping people all over the place, right?
Which is what a good CIA asset is good at.
Yep. It gets really fucking weird for Colin when Schnabel interviews him, because Schnabel pulls out a transcript of a conversation that Colin had, which, I mean, the guy's the forefront of the crop circle phenomenon. He's going to be quoted an awful lot, except that the transcript was from a conversation that Colin had privately in his own car using a remote satellite phone. This was pre-Blackbird, when they were putting Blackbird in the works. He had a transcript of a private conversation from a satellite phone. Either he's the best journalist ever, or he's got some inside pull.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. That he's got some inside pull.
Yeah,
because I don't feel like that's easy to do.
No, he's something. He is something. There's other proof that Colin came forward that the intelligence community was monitoring him based off invoices and them following like money he spent at specific places. They would also spend money like they were tracking his movements all over the place. But we know that CIA loves to use journalists as tools.
Yep.
You know, they're like you said, when you were talking about Blackbird, like it is the journalist is the perfect tool because people talk to journalists.
Yep.
Right. And they also have the ability to spread misinformation. As Project Mockingbird showed us, like there were, in that specific time, there were 400 journalists in the United States that were listed as CIA informants and direct assets. That's a lot.
It is a lot.
Like,
that's a lot of damage that you can do real fast.
Yes. 10 journalists and editors at the New York Times were actual agents for the CIA. They decide what we, the general public, get to know.
Yeah, and on top of that, if you had even just a journalist at every company, all it would take is for one from each company to start cooperating or lining up with what the other one was saying.
And then it's just off
to
the races.
Yeah, the public narrative is going to be like, well, there's obviously truth here because you got NBC saying it, you got Fox saying it, you got this one saying it. It's obviously true.
Yep. Old boy on the Y-Files, I can't think of his name, he made a great statement. He said it's easy. He said it's not out of the realm of possibility to assume that 10% of editors, reporters, and media personalities that are responsible for the content you consume, be it television, be it newspaper, be it podcast hosts, are CIA informants.
Guarantee it. I think at this point, it should just go without saying.
Yes. It gets weirder for our old buddy Colin. He goes on to say that there was another man in the crop circle field that came forward stating that he saw an actual crop circle be formed while seeing balls of light hovering above it.
That would be wild.
They don't know who he is. They just like, if the information's out there, we don't know the guy's name. He's just referred to as the Fox Man because he said that he was out doing research on the habitats of red foxes in the area when he saw these balls of light make this crop circle.
That's crazy.
This man kept coming to Colin to talk about crop circles. He came to him first. This I want to report my experience. Then he kept coming back. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this crop circle. Let's talk about this crop circle. Do you think Russians are involved in the crop circle?
That's a weird question.
And Colin goes, "Excuse me?" He's like, "Yeah. Do you think this could be some espionage stuff?" And,
so the Fox Man was definitely .gov.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah. He just flat out, after he looks at him all crazy, he just flat out looks at Colin and he goes, "You know you're one of us now." Colin goes, "Excuse me? What do you mean one of us?" He goes, "CIA." He's like, You're in too deep. You're one of us."
I'd be like, bitch, I don't see no checks in my fucking bank account.
Oh, there was.
Oh.
They offered
I stand
Colin.
corrected.
They offered Colin a Swiss bank account full of money
Oh, wow.
if he promised to come forward pushing that the crop circle phenomena is a hoax. Since he's the leading spearhead of the research, they said, if you come out and say that this isn't real, we will take care of you greatly. He said, we will give you CIA equipment, CIA budget, CIA staff. He said, we have an offshore bank account with your name on it. We're talking figures upon figures. He said, you just have to come out and tell the world that this is a hoax. One other stipulation: if you find something that you deem as legitimate, the only person you can tell is me, Fox person.
Interesting.
Sus.
So, twofold question. How many times do you think that's played out for the government?
Oh, I have no idea.
I bet it's played out handful of times.
Yeah, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase's told us everybody's got a price.
And then what do you do if you get approached with that deal? That's a hard one.
Dude, I don't know. I love that Colin stood 10 toes down on his morals and his passion and what he put.
That is gangster.
But, goddamn.
Here's what I'm saying.
How many zeros in that Swiss bank account?
So I'm going to be real. All right. Stretch this one out. So I'm saying right now, this moment in my life, given the amount of zeros,
10 mil.
okay,
We gotta set
I'm in.
something.
I'm in. One stipulation though, and I think it's already worked out in what you said.
You're making stipulations.
I do have
for the CIA?
I do have a stipulation.
I love it.
I do have a stipulation. And it may, like I said, it may already be worked out. My brain may not have processed it correctly. So by what you're saying, not only do I get the 10 M's in my bank account, but you're also going to give me possible CIA assets to now keep looking into the phenomena.
Yeah.
I'm in.
CIA equipment, budget, and staff.
I'm in.
To continue.
Without question, I'm in.
To continue looking into the phenomena.
Yep, I'm in.
And all you got to do is say every one of them is fake. And if you find the real ones, the only people you tell is Foxman.
That's the part that I would hate. If I had to continually
discredit,
come out and discredit, that would be a not sell point for me. I thought it was going to be a one and done. Me just be like, come on here and be like, it's all fake, guys. I'm gonna tell you, see you later. And then I get to go on my journey and really like expertly dig into the phenomena.
Oh,
I can do that.
You got to be the psyop.
That's hard. That adds a new avenue, man, that I don't know that I could stomach forever.
It's a moral conundrum.
I don't know that I could stomach it forever.
Especially initially, for something that you love.
Initially, I think between the assets and the dollar signs, it's an easy yes. But over time, the assets and the money get so mundane to you that once again your moral compass starts to surface. And then you are now going to be in even more of a predicament because you're going to be going against the CIA directly.
Yeah.
And that is going to be way more liability for them than you were in the beginning.
And it's even worse because now you have all the means to investigate the way you want to.
Yeah.
You can investigate all the time consistently. You know, if there's a crop circle in Germany, you can be there because you got CIA assets. There's one in the UK, you can be there. Spain, be there. Boom, 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 boom.
I mean, you're Mulder at that point.
And you can't tell a fucking soul.
I'm okay with that.
And not only that, you have to tell people that it's not real.
Okay, new stipulation.
CIA, we're pulling back.
One more new stipulation. I get to bring my homie.
Oh, yeah, man.
That's the stipulation. That's the real stipulation. Because at least that way, you and me can talk about it.
And you know, I'm black book off the records, keeping everything, everything we find.
No fucking doubt. One day, I'm gonna be the biggest whistleblower on the planet.
God, yes,
without fucking question.
I love it.
It'd be a video of me telling everybody, well, my drop, or what do they call it? A dead man switch has activated. All of my information's on the internet, and it's just gonna be me going.
I see Kyle running, streaming with his phone with the CIA chasing him.
Who played who, CIA? Who played who? You guys are in it for the short term. Homie was in for the long run.
Long game.
I got you.
Oh, I love it. But Colin, 10 toes down, said, no, I'm good.
I respect that, though. I respect that.
Because they also wanted all of his information that he'd gathered.
Yeah.
So he's like, no.
That's a given.
That's a given. That. So, dude didn't take lightly to that. He started just mass calling Colin every day. Change your mind, change your mind, change your mind. It got so bad that Colin contacted the Ministry of Defense. He said, this dude is harassing me over things that you said aren't real. Do something. And they're like, nope, it's out of our jurisdiction. The British Ministry of Defense... a man being harassed by another British citizen, it's out of their jurisdiction.
Which instantly tells Colin that it's foreign assets.
And it's out of his hands at this point.
It's foreign assets.
And it further proves that because he said, you know what? I'm done with all this bullshit. I'm moving to the United States.
Oh, that's not going to help.
So he packs up, moves to the United States. He is immediately contacted by a Pentagon analyst who puts him in contact with the name of anybody that's in the UFO community. Listen to Art Bell and stuff. We'll know this name. Rosemary Ellen Guiley. She's been on Coast to Coast, had her own paranormal radio show. Big name. Wrote like 50 books. Just all over the place. She was adamant that she wanted to write a book with Colin. Pushed. He said she went to every means you can think of to try to get him to agree to co-author a book with her. One of her stipulations was that they wrote the book in Colin's office.
Yeah, okay.
Where she would have access.
I said, fuck off.
Access to his whole database.
You think I'm stupid?
Like, what?
You think I'm stupid?
Makes you wonder what he meant by any means necessary.
Oh, yeah. But regardless, like, if one of the stipulations that we do it in I'm like, get out of here. Golly.
So he's very adamant that Rosemary Ellen Guiley was a CIA informant.
I'm sure.
Which is crazy when you think of the pull she had on the paranormal community.
It's not, though, because remember when I low-key...
It is not. I want it to be, though.
Like, remember the low-key accusation I made about Linda?
Mm-hmm.
During the Antarctica stuff?
Yep.
When we were digging into that? I think it happens to everybody in the paranormal field that get to a certain level. I think without question, you become a CIA asset. It's either that or you get shut the fuck up.
Yep.
Or maybe even less than that. Maybe they say, "Hey, Steve, you can walk this line, but remember there is a line. You cannot cross this line. Once your research takes you to this point, you have to instantly go, this is not real.
Yep.
This is not real. We're staying in this lane."
Sucks.
I without a doubt think that happens far more than we understand.
'Cause
it also explains how some of these people get to the forefront of the community.
Yeah. Think of how much sway she had. If she was an informant, again, we're here at Holosky. We're not on one side of the fence or the other. We're just here to present information, right?
Well, if she was an informant, we're not even going to assume that she had a choice.
Yes. She was on the forefront of the paranormal world at the time. Mm-hmm. She was on Art Bell multiple times. Anybody who is anybody in the paranormal world in research went to Art.
Yep.
And that's a big sway if you're being pushed one way or the other for the government.
Well, I mean, to be fair, not to fucking slander his name at all, but it would almost make you wonder if he was an asset.
It's been said.
And that's not surprising that it's been said. But I mean,
you're
I
the
said,
highest voice in the paranormal world.
I truly do believe, unfortunately, that anybody who gets to the top of the mountain most likely is either an asset or has stipulations on them to almost be an asset.
Yeah.
Even if you're not an asset, a true asset, you're still kind of an asset because you're given guidelines.
Yeah.
And you have to maintain those guidelines or you're going to have problems.
Yep. And even if Art didn't know, even if he wasn't an asset, he was still a tool because he was putting out whatever information that they wanted him to go out. And if you think about it, a lot of the top names in the conspiracy paranormal world all kind of take a weird shift at some point.
Yes.
Like Rogan took the shift.
Yep.
Ryan took the shift. Everybody kind of has
absolutely.
Kind of get to a point to where their demeanor changes.
Yep.
And
I
that.
think there is a reason for that. I will admit that. And once again, I mean, it's a situation that I don't even know how we would handle it. You know what I mean? Like,
no. Because if we can't be bought, then there's threats.
Yeah.
And that changes everything.
It does change everything. Yeah, absolutely. So you're in a roundabout way, unfortunately, you're almost better to be bought.
Yeah. At least at that point, you're benefiting and there's no detriment to your family.
Yeah.
Further moving forward to discredit information, discredit campaign, a man by the name of John Lonberg came forward. In the early 90s, he put together a website called circlemakers.org, which is still around today, and you can get on there and look at crop circles that him and his friends claim to have made. He had a master's in art degree, so he knew something about geometry and geometric shapes and stuff, but these were like the elaborate of the elaborate. Once Doug and Dave kind of fell apart, this dude came forward saying, hey, these big ones here, these cool ones we're making. Yeah. And he's making videos of him making them, him and his team putting it out. So big forefront of the disinformation campaign. At one point on circlemakers.org, they had a recruiting link where people thought that they could register their information to maybe be a part of the team to go out and make crop circles. Au contraire, you click on that recruiting link, it takes you directly to an MI5 recruiting link, which is the British military intelligence.
Still to this day?
I don't know if still to this day, but at some point in the website's existence, it went there.
That's weird.
Weird.
And I don't even know how that's weird.
Why are the two tied together? Is my question.
I mean, it's definitely like I feel like it's asset based, but
It's almost
it's
like
just a weird. I feel like it's a false breadcrumb.
Like the dude in Wi-Fi says it's like a double bluff. Like putting it out there.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like just because they use it a lot. They openly like mock. Like in 2004, they openly mocked Colin, who was at a point to where he was asking for funds to continue his research. The site posted a paragraph telling Colin that if he couldn't raise the money, he could just join the MI5 and get trained as a crop circle maker as a psyop. Literally what they put.
Yeah.
Being that open about it is like, it's almost like putting it out in the open so people think you're just shitting them. But in real life, like you're probably in it.
Or it's just it's a tactic for them to get like a more clout. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Where like two dummies like us could be like, dude, let's just pretend that we're in the MI5, and because like the conspiracy world's gonna eat this shit up.
Yeah. And
so we'll just double down on it and make it all look legit, even though it's not legit. I could see that happening.
Yeah. But Lundberg here does kind of have ties to the MI5. So...
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that he is.
People started digging into him in 2009. He had got his master's degree at the Slade School of Fine Arts, which just happened to be literally across the street from MI5 secret headquarters. They shared a courtyard, like
it's interesting.
Here and here. And a lot of people know that intelligence agencies like to pick up final year college students to recruit them. Lundberg started making crop circles the year after he graduated.
I mean, it adds up.
People then started digging into the website source code, digging into like all the HTML codes. Literally the second source code word on the website was MI5. There was also CIA. There was also a name we've heard before, Jim Schnabel. All in the source code of the Circle Makers website.
That's interesting.
It's fucking weird. The site, okay, they're British, obviously, but the site wasn't hosted in Britain. It was hosted out of Pittsburgh. The administrative contact for the domain circlemakers.org was a colonel in the U.S. Air Force, which is sus.
So it does kind of point that this is the intelligence being brazen about it.
Yes.
But there's obviously a psychological aspect to it that I don't quite see. There has to be a psychological aspect to it. Of being that brazen.
I feel like it's almost... I think it kind of is that people won't take it seriously while getting the information out there. Because Lundberg went on to mention about like how much it costs to run a successful website and all this shit, but he always said that they were being financed. He said, we would never ask you for money. We're being financed by an undisclosed source. Which makes you think governmental, right?
Yeah, of course.
Which, if that's the case, it brings back the moral quandary of the crimes being committed by circlemakers.org in creating these crop circles. Because you have vandalism. Like you said, you have destruction of property. You have trespassing. And if it's backed by government intelligence agencies, you can get, like, you're getting into some weird areas there.
Yeah.
Weird gray areas.
It'd be hard to get it to survive court, but
yeah,
because you are going up against arguably the most powerful, you know.
They're going to be like, here's $1,500 for your corn crop.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. Again, you've probably heard the name Lundberg before because he was also a director. That's what he was doing, like, when the crop circle thing started kind of popping off. He directed a documentary that we have probably all heard of before called Mirage Men, which is like the ultimate kind of putting it. He's using his funds to put it out there because it kind of focuses around. Oh boy, what's his name? Doty, who came forward saying that he worked for the U.S. government as a disinformation agent, putting out that the UFO phenomenon isn't real. And this was put out to the masses by Lundberg, who essentially was probably funded by either the Ministry of Defense in Britain or the CIA.
Probably the CIA.
Yeah.
So it definitely feels very CIA-ish.
I know we're getting long on time here, but obviously Colin is kind of put off by all of this shit going on. Like he literally said he was at a point where he was also ready to throw in the towel, like Pat. Just over it, done. In the interview with John King, he said, I remember laying in bed one night thinking after Doug and Dave, after Blackbird, that all of this was not real. He said, I was thinking that I would really been had and all of it was not real. He's like, I started trying to directly connect to the phenomena. He said, all I could think about was one of those first crop circles that I had seen, which was the Celtic cross in the field. He said, I just projected that to the phenomena. If you are real, stop making me chase you. Come to me. He said the next morning he had gotten a call from a crop circle that he had investigated right down the road. It was like 2 miles from his house. There was a circle there that he had looked into. The farmer got up the next morning, and in the field next to that one was the Celtic cross.
Again?
Yes, for a second time. After he had put it out into the ether.
Yeah.
Prove to me that you are real. This is the sign that I want. It not only made it close to his house, but it made it in the field of the circle that he investigated literally the night before.
I want to know, if I could talk to him, I would ask, when you put that into the ether, did you say it out loud or did you say it in your head?
Ooh, where it could be bugged. He may have said it in the interview, but I don't know. I don't have time to look into it. But that kind of wraps it up on Colin. I'm also going to talk about we're 10 over. Areas where the crop circles show up. I mentioned it before, but there are like chalk aquifers underneath a lot of UK, which produce energy. And a lot of the crop circles that cannot be proven to be man-made show up in this swath of these chalk aquifers. Also, there is a theory that maybe they're not coming from the sky, they're coming from the ground up, like as sound vibrations. Because
I can see that.
There are circles that are found in fields where after the crops have been taken away, the imprint of the circle is still there.
That's
and
fucking
it will
weird.
be there for like some of them are up to 3 years. The intricate designs are still in the soil, and you can still see them.
That's wild.
It's crazy. There has been some crop circles that have been suggested that they are star maps, essentially like trying to tell us where to look, where to go.
I could see that.
There have been other models, other formations that essentially people think are 2D rendering of like a wormhole, how a wormhole would look if you split it in half and projected it onto the earth. There have been other crop circles that have no, like there's no geometric rhyme or reason to them. They just look scattered and just weird, right? Well, there was a man by the name of Nikola Romansky who started looking into these. He first noticed the star maps and was like, man, they were probably trying to tell us something. Then he saw the wormhole-like ones, which are essentially just circles with a line through them and stuff. So he started putting these into a 3D model where he takes the flat inlay of the essentially a blueprint and he rotates it around its axis. So when he did that, it came up with the model of what we look like as a wormhole. with the center getting like closer and the whole thing. So he took some of these real strange crop circles that we were finding and did the same thing. They started producing, like as he made the 3D model, what looked like UFOs. Like if you take this weird, just flat inlaid blueprint and you 3D it, he started getting what looked like what we know as UFOs. Like one looked like the Die Glock Nazi bell.
Yeah.
And there were discs and all sorts of weird shit. So he started being like, hey, there might be something to this. Let's try to build this. Let's try, like they're giving us the blueprints. Let's try to build it. So he got some backing from a film producer. They started making it. He hired a whole bunch of people to start and he actually created one of the blueprints that they came out with. They were trying to produce enough energy to see what they could get out of it. They said they did get plasma to ignite, which I don't know what that means. I'm assuming it takes a certain amount of energy, but then all of a sudden their funding got cut. So they had to stop.
It makes you wonder if he was the first civilian to stumble onto that information.
It does. It does. They're like, again, watch the Y files because he actually shows in his YouTube video the 3D renderings of the crafts. It's
fucking wild.
Crazy. It's crazy. But I was reading on Reddit, people talking about it, and they're like, it's almost like us being 3-dimensional beings drawing a picture on 2 dimensions. He said, what if they're 4-dimensional beings drawing pictures on the 3rd dimension here? Trying to explain to us how to get to them as best they can.
They probably are.
Yeah, and we're dumb.
We are not known to be too intelligent.
Some other things are just changes in the crops. As like wheat, for example, gets ready to harvest, the heads of the wheat curve and get real dry. So they break, right? If you try to flatten them out. A lot of these crop circles where the walls of the circle have curved wheat head, the wheat that was been flattened in the circle perfectly straight. It's aligned itself out. He said the only way to do this is with immense amounts of radiation energy. They also say that there is expulsion chambers in the wheat, like where you have to have very specific microwave radiation focused at it to make these wheat nodules bust. Where in the middle of the circle, all of the stalks have this, but 2 feet away in the walls of the circle, that's not there. It's very directed energy. Weird. It's crazy, right? I just have some notable crop circles here that I was going to talk about. That's interesting. First, we have what they call the Arecibo answer. Okay, so in 1974, a team of scientists led by Frank Drake and Carl Sagan composed a message to be transmitted to the edge of our galaxy, specifically the globular cluster Messier 13, a group of stars roughly 25,000 light years from Earth. This was humanity's first attempt to contact extraterrestrials. The message was written in binary code, which when displayed as a graphic in a 23 by 73 rectangle, chosen because they're prime numbers and like math is the spoken language of the universe or some bullshit, provided several pieces of information about human beings and our planet. This included the atomic numbers for the elements that are combined to make up DNA: hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and phosphorus. A stick figure of a human being, a representation of our solar system and our position in it, and a representation of the Arecibo radio telescope in Puerto Rico that was used to transmit the message. So they sent that out. Not long. Well, that's not true. Not long after it, but long after it, 15 years or so. Let me double check here. 2001. So it's quite a ways. 74 to 2001. So that's a ways. In the hillside town of Hampshire, we got a reply. because right there next to the Chilbolton radio telescope, not the Arecibo where it was sent out, but the Chilbolton, the farmer that owned the field noticed an indentation in his crops. He was like, okay, this is fucking weird. What's the deal? He couldn't tell anything that was going on when he was looking at it, but from the air, you see what looks to be like a replica of the face that was found on Mars. An image that was sent back by the Viking 1 space probe in 1976. The face, the most prominent feature, is the like image bears striking resemblance to the Martian face. I pulled it up here so we can see it. Kyle.
I think I remember seeing this crop circle. I believe it's the same one.
Yeah. Okay, here it is. This was in the field first.
Yeah.
Then 2 days later, we got the Arecibo answer, which is...
The face is fucking weird.
The face is fucking weird, right?
I don't like it.
The Arecibo answer, coming 3 days after the face, the reply came from a crop circle, technically a crop rectangle, seemingly to be a copy of the Arecibo message, but with key differences. The atomic code for carbon had been replaced with silicon. The stick figure had a changed shape to indicate a large head and a smaller body than a human. The image of an Arecibo had been replaced with a complex image seeming to indicate some kind of space telescope with solar panels and potentially mimic other complex crop circles that had been drawn in the past. Because this eye, or whatever the hell this is, where we put the Arecibo telescope, they think it's some sort of radio technology that they're using to beam these out, was also found in a crop circle years prior to that, almost in the same field.
So you're telling me, because I've never really thought about it, go back to the image. At the bottom of that image, it's an eye with essentially radio waves coming out of it.
Something of that sort.
Okay, so keep that in mind for next week's episode.
Okay.
Some fucking odd foreshadowing.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's fucking weird.
Next, we have the Julia set, which on Sunday, July 7th, 1996, what has been called one of the most complex and spectacular crop circles designs seen up to this point, appeared in England. It was an astonishing fractal pattern called the Julia set, which clearly demonstrates some sort of intelligence. It is a unique crop circle in history for several reasons, including the fact that it appeared not far from the mysterious and world-famous Stonehenge monument on the English countryside, and that it allegedly appeared during daylight in less than an hour. The circle became one of the most famous and important crop circles in history. Colin Andrews expressed the sentiments of many when he said at a public conference, "If these Julia sets can be proven to be made by humans, we will all pack our bags and go home." Additional claims that have been the standard with most crop circles. The strange case had many unique features. The circumstance surrounding it in appearance are at first glance straightforward and impressive enough. But a pilot came forward and said he flew over the field opposite of Stonehenge late in the afternoon and saw nothing but a normal undisturbed field below. On his return flight back less than an hour, the pilot was stunned to see a spectacular 600-foot fractal crop circle below in the very same field.
It was definitely Dave and Daryl.
Yeah, Douche and Daryl. There it is. There's Stonehenge and there's the crop circle.
That one would be hard as hell to make.
In the middle of daylight, next to a damn road, next to one of the most prominent tourist attractions ever.
I don't know that I would believe that humans, especially in that short amount of time, could even do that, not to mention have everything so perfect.
This is one of those ones that they think is a 3D blueprint.
Oh, I could see that.
It looked like a radio telescope when you did that.
It does.
What else do I got?
That
here?
one's crazy.
Yeah, that one's monstrous. 780 foot. This was in a field in Milk Hill, which there is a brand new one that just happened in 2025.
Be a dope-ass tattoo.
In 2025, a new one just formed in the same field. This specific one here, it's called the pi circle, and it represents like pi as a whole, like 3, and then you
I
keep
get it.
going
Yeah.
forever, which is crazy. I'm looking for one specific one. That one's fucking crazy. Sorry, guys. This one.
I remember that one.
The alien face here.
Yeah.
The spiral shot face and message of 2002. The spiral shot crop circle, known as the alien face with disc formation, appeared in a field near Spiral Shot, Hampshire, England in August 2002. It's 400 feet wide circle featuring a depiction of an alien holding a disc with a decoded message in the disc. The disc is in binary, and it translates to beware the bearers of false gifts and their broken promises. Much pain, but still time. Believe. There is good out there. We oppose deception. Conduit closing. The only other ones I have is the Oliver Castle footage, which I'm sure you've seen if you watched the Unsolved Mysteries. It's a man recording balls of light that produce a crop circle in the field.
I almost brought that up when we talked about the original, when the military claimed the balls of light. And it made me instantly remember the Unsolved Mysteries depiction of it.
I think I'm gonna end it there. We'll just cut her at that because we're way over. So that's crop circles, everybody.
Who would have thought crop circles had such an elaborate backstory?
Who would have thought CIA gave a shit?
Yeah. Like, I thought it was just one of them topics that just petered out, man.
Yeah. Like, you can CIA.gov it, and there's all sorts of shit about our old buddy Jim Schnabel here.
That's fucking nuts.
Who's just an investigative journalist.
Well, of course.
All right. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I got all kinds of sources from all over the place. Unfortunately, CIA.gov is one of them. Also, check out the Y Files. I know they don't need any of our help, but they did do excellent research on this particular episode. You guys need to check it out. It's dope. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hope you have a good Monday. Till we meet again, stay safe, stay weird, and do not trust the military-industrial complex.